There is a request from the EFDD group that a statement by Ms. Mogherini be added on the attack against the Coptic cathedral in Cairo. To move the request, Mr. Carver.
President, yesterday, as you so rightly said, the Coptic Christian minority in Cairo were victims of a wicked attack on their cathedral, their main place of worship. My colleague from the German delegation proposes that this House condemns the prosecution of Christians, and I am most happy to present this request on our behalf and on behalf of the EFDD group. The European Union makes it a habit of claiming to be defenders of human rights, and that, Mr. President, is why we have a duty also to defend Christian minorities and their right to worship and express their freedom of belief in the areas where they are a minority. We have a moral obligation, Mr. President, to speak up for all persecuted minorities and to condemn violence by adopting a resolution accordingly. And I urge colleagues to support me. Thank you.
Vielen Dank. Thank you very much. In favour, we have Mr. Lamberts.
Merci, Monsieur le Président, chers collègues.
Thank you, President. We know that we live, as do others, in multicultural societies, but also multi-denominational societies. In our societies, as in other societies elsewhere, there are individuals who try to incite aggression and hatred between religious communities. And back in the 90s, we saw how ethnic cleansing could produce horrible events. So I think it is a very good idea that we have this debate.
Mr. Panzeri would like to speak against. Go ahead.
Grazie, Presidente.
Thank you, President. Well, quite honestly, I thought that we dealt with this issue via your initial statement. I mean, if it was up to me, I think the words that you mentioned at the start are enough. We could transcribe them and turn them into a communication from the Parliament as a whole, condemning all attacks, including the one on the Coptic cathedral in Egypt. But if this request does remain on the table, then I would suggest that we ask all groups to take this as an emergency, an urgency. We could take one of the three urgencies that we've already decided on. One of the S&D proposals was common graves in Iraq, and perhaps we could put it under urgencies so we can discuss it on Thursday morning and then vote on it.
Thank you, Mr. Panzeri. I'll put this request to the vote. Those in favour of the FDD group, please show. Those against? Abstentions? It's almost impossible to tell. Let's check it electronically.
Abstimmung ist geschlossen.
The vote is closed. That's carried. That means we have now established the agenda for this week's business.